Hi, everybody. So this one is called My Travel Experience as a Fat Canadian Going to Kuwait. And I'm going to be doing a ring count every time she flashes her ring in the screen. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is just going to be me and of course some Caesar juice, which is my favorite orange and carrot juice from here. It's so good. Yeah.
Some of them I won't count if it's something natural, like when she drinks the drink. I mean, of course, we're going to see her ring or something, but if she's just flashing it unnecessarily, I'm going to do a ring count.
All right, I need a beverage while I'm going to talk because I'm going to be talking in this video. It's a sit down and talk video. I want to do a series of videos where I'm just talking about things that I know you guys would want to know about, specifically pertaining to this travel journey, because I do see a lot of comments, people wondering, being my size, as big as I am,
5. How
did you travel to the Middle East? Especially to one of the hottest places on the planet, Kuwait.
Ooh, so
if you've
hot.
watched my
6,
channel, you've been with me for a while.
7,
you've seen my
8.
past videos. You've seen my life up until now. So especially somebody like me, it's very shocking for someone like me to do something like that.
True.
I just want to say that I think this is a lesson that I don't think that people really understand, that what people show you online is just what they show you online. I don't think that people really understand fully everything that's going on inside of me. And you're not meant to. These are things that I keep personal in my life.
We are only 1 minute, 30 seconds in, and we have already seen her ring flashed 9 times. This is the new Chantal personality we're seeing here. Y'all notice that.
And I have shared a lot of things with you guys. Yes, I have been very, very open. I'm going to be open to what I feel comfortable with being open with. So my point with all that was, I think that people don't really fully know me. They don't really know that I have this sense of burning desire to just sometimes experience life in a way I never thought that I would ever do it.
Election day is Tuesday, November 8th. Last election week.
Y'all can skip this if you wish. We are at, and it's kind of hard for me to count because her hand moves so fast, but we are at 11 ring flashes. 11, and we're only a few minutes in, if that. I'm wondering what she's going to talk about for 20 minutes.
And that's how I like to live my life, kind of spontaneously, just crazy life. I love it. I love having a crazy life, right? So this part 1, or episode 1, is going to be talking about my experience with the actual traveling as an obese person, or overweight person, and anything from how I handled the heat, the seats, and just all of the extra activity. Basically.
By the way, I'm counting each ring flash is every time her hand goes off camera and it comes back on for unnecessarily. Like when she drank her juice in the beginning, I didn't count that because, I mean, it could have been a flash, but, I'll give her that as a gimme because she was drinking her juice. But so far I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 times. 21 times now. Could
Again,
be more.
If you're kind of new here, just a reminder, I'm a person who has come from a very sedentary lifestyle. I'm from Canada, and I'm not a person who loves the heat. I'm not a person who loves...
Hold on. By the way, we're at 24. Hold on. She said I was basically a mess. She's saying she just did this big overnight change, and she's consistently been doing this stuff for 6 months, a year. Like, girl, you just started doing this a month ago. It's just come on, really?
Activity and all of those things that I have to do here. But I am a person who does love to challenge myself when I feel the time is right. I have done that in my past, and I'll get into that now. So just a bit of a history with flying. I know that flying fat is a huge topic for people who are overweight. It's a big anxiety. Traveling when you're overweight, doing anything when you're excessively overweight.
Traveling is stressful even when you are skinny. I hate airplanes.
Is extremely difficult.
I'm not skinny, but I'm not big as Chantal, but I'm just saying, like, either way it's stressful.
For a lot of people, including myself. And it makes traveling extra difficult, of course. I first went on an airplane when I was 10, and I was a pretty chubby kid, but I don't really remember the experience other than just my ears being blocked and my mom giving me chewing gum and insisting, chew gum, your ears won't pop. Sorry, I talk a lot with my hands, I know. I'm very, very happy, and I really love this Arabian gold. Just putting that out there. Yes, I'm showing off my ring. I was 10, and we were going to
we noticed. We noticed, girl. She's saying that like we ain't know. Girl, we noticed. You might as well do the whole thing like this.
And that's all I remember about the flight. I wasn't terribly nervous. Now, fast forward to about 2001, I had traveled around Canada in a program called Katimavik, which was funded by the Canadian government. At the time, they would pay for youth to get out of their house and experience Canada, do something different, do some volunteer work. So I would volunteer 40 hours a week, actually, in Katimavik. And I remember purposely pushing myself to do this. No one in my family believed that I would go for 7 months, travel around Canada as a 17-year-old alone. I was homesick at first. I do have some series on that.
It's amazing how her life changed from doing that to just sitting in that musty room. Listen, I'm all for her getting out and stuff like that, but I just think it's kind of gross that she did it for the reason that she did it. That's just my opinion. It's her life, obviously, but that is my opinion. Please put yours down below. I just kind of think that it's like you had to wait for some man to go experience life in the world. I guess because I'm so independent. I've always been extremely independent as far as if I want to do something. I don't wait on people to do it. I'm not somebody who has to have somebody all stuck up in between their ass just to go do something. Like, I'll go on vacation by myself a lot. And most of the time when I go by myself, and people will be like, well, you went there? Who'd you go with? I'm like, myself. And sometimes people will be like, you went by yourself? And I'm like, y'all don't know me by now? Like, I'm very introverted. I like to do things by myself. And I just don't understand people that always have to have a person as a reason to do something. It's just weird to me. I do understand sometimes when you travel, especially to certain places, you might want to have a travel buddy with you because it might be a little, especially as a woman traveling to certain places. But just like for a different reason, or if you have special needs or something like that, if you're anxiety prone. But I'm just not one of those people, and I don't understand people like her. It's just weird to me that was your reason.
On my channel in some videos, but that was the second time I had to use an airplane a couple of times, and it was a small plane. I remember that. I was 200 pounds, I think approximately 200 pounds at the time. Now, I don't remember feeling much anxiety about flying or about the seatbelt or anything like that. 200 pounds is still not terribly super obese to the point where you won't fit on a plane or you fear that you won't fit in public transportation. And actually, that brings me to my point where you don't actually worry about fitting anywhere until it actually happens, that dreadful, embarrassing moment. Sorry, I need some juice. The juice and the pickles.
When I say cereal, you say dinner. Cereal.
She is taking some really dainty sips off this juice. Like, have y'all noticed she's even like speaking differently? She has a whole different speaking tone. Her cadence is different. This is not the same Chantal. Even though she's talking about something, traveling, whatever, as a larger person, which is fine. That is an issue. She's speaking differently. It's weird. It's
so
fake.
Over the years, my weight increased over the years, and
Clearly.
it got to the weight that it was,
Bless
which
your
was
heart.
very excessive, especially for health and everything else like that. You guys know I'm a person who's all about body positivity, loving who you are regardless of your shape, size, whatever. But when it comes to damaging your health, that's a bit of a different issue for me. But regardless, I do still think that people, while they're dealing with their health issues, have a right to be comfortable and happy traveling and living life.
I agree.
And not feeling like a complete outcast.
I agree.
But I did travel to Cuba. That was the first trip in April where I was feeling some anxiety. Okay, I'm going to say I was as terrified as I've probably been thinking about a flight. I would, in preparation, I would like obsessively just look for seats that, maybe a window seat, maybe at the back, no one will sit beside me. I was hoping, am I going to have to buy 2 seats? Just all these anxieties were flooding in my brain. I'm getting at people, you need 2 seats, don't put yourself on someone else. Don't take up space. No, I'm going to tell you, never be afraid to take up space. Take up space, all right? Enough. However, when I got on the plane for Cuba, the Sunwing plane, I did do a video on that, but that was my first experience. I think that broke the ice for me, and I kind of expected all economy seats to be kind of similar standard size. Now, I'm an apple shape, so from the side, I'm more larger than wide like this. I don't have very wide hips. So I carry most of my weight in my abdomen. Therefore,
Same.
I was able to fit in the seat all right. It was a little snug, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't digging in. However, I did need a seatbelt extender because the seatbelt was like coming like this. I needed that extra space. So I had the seatbelt extender, and they were very nice. I just asked the flight attendant. Now, those are things that if you are embarrassed to do, because people did look at me. Like, literally, the plane was like already filling up. And the stewardess was kind of like busy a little bit, and I had to just kind of like say, hey, can I have a seatbelt extender? And everyone watched me ask her, like everyone. So, and that to me, honestly, I guess I'm just lucky. I just don't place. I've learned over the years, I guess it's taken a bit of mental work, I guess, but I've just always just never really cared too much about what people think about me in public. You guys.
I know. I'm used to being stared at as well. Not because I'm big or anything, but for other things I won't go into. But, you just got to get used to it. So I think that's definitely rude how people are staring at her because she needs a seatbelt extender. But people nosy, and child, girl, they ain't nobody, honey. Elephants don't swat flies. So I'm used to people staring at me.
Know that. So luckily for me, I was like, hey, like I'm the kind of person, let's just put it this way. I'm the kind of person that's like, no matter who I am, what size I am, what I look like, it's like, I will go anywhere in the world and be like, hey, here I am. This is how I am. I'm not going to apologize for it.
Bitch, I'm the same way. However, this is not who Foodie is. Who is this person we're looking at? Because this ain't Chantal Sorrell. And isn't her name Sorrell? This is not Chantal to me. She's still in there, but what we're seeing on this vlog, this right here, this is not her. By the way, we're at 8 minutes and 38 seconds. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 56, 57. No, 51, 52. 52 times rain flash. And I'm just kind of, like I said, when she drops it down and brings it back in, so I might be a little off, but approximately 52. That's crazy.
So that's how I dealt with the Sunwing situation. Now for this trip, specifically, I flew with Qatar Airlines. I heard that it was a bit more comfortable. Maybe the seats were a bit larger.
Okay.
So I just figure, you know what, I'll just ask for a seatbelt extender. It's a longer flight, but I thought, hey, I can do this. So I just have the attitude, I can do this, you can do this, you're going to do this, and I just do it. I don't know, I just do it. And maybe a part of it is just...
She's kind of talking like she's just had this life where she just does all these things and it's just like, I just go for it. I just do it. And I mean, we've watched her for years now pretty much just go to Adonis and sit in her room and every now and then go somewhere like the mall or something. She doesn't really do too much. She up here talking like she Dora the Explorer. Like, I'm all for encouraging people to do things. I'm all for body positivity, but she's acting like she like a National Geographic show host or something. Like, girl, you ain't do nothing but sit in your room lately. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm kind of a bit of an adrenaline junkie a little bit, where in a sense where I like to push myself, and I find that even more now. I'm loving pushing myself even more. So what I have to say about the trip, when I got to the Montreal airport, the walking wasn't too bad. It wasn't too far. I had to walk to the check-in with Qatar Airlines in the Montreal airport.
She's seriously talking like she has a whole nother personality. What is she talking about? Like, what is she talking about? Oh, I'm so adventurous. I like to push myself and live on adrenaline. Huh?
The Montreal airport. Now, leaving Canada was where all of the I need to walk everywhere happens, and things just get more harder and hotter as I travel. So I got on the plane and my seat was like way at the back, and I heard someone say, in the stewardess say, like, we have a full plane. So I kind of like looked at the seat beside me and I thought, oh no, 12 hours with somebody that I don't know and like maybe a strange person. I don't know. So, I knew it was a possibility. So, but I had a window seat. That was the best thing for me because I love looking out the window.
Me too.
And of course, right at the back near the lavatory, because I want to avoid just having to walk down long aisles through people. Maybe that is a little bit of an insecurity. I don't know, but the lavatory, you're all wondering about the lavatory in the planes. It's actually big enough. Like the door, I thought the door was only this big, but there's two doors like that and they fold in half. So you take the door and you just open it and it folds open. And then you close it behind you. And actually, the lavatories in the Qatar Airlines bathrooms are actually really nice. They have like eau de toilette and everything. They had like everything. And there was enough room. It was a little snug, but I actually had enough room to like stand up and move around and wash my hands and everything.
That looks snug.
So I was like, yes, okay. So that was good. I did actually get to check out the bathroom because that, honestly, airplane bathrooms, this is, again, just one thing. If you're a bigger person, you'll understand. Airplane bathrooms are so tiny that, it like freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, what if I get stuck? Or I don't know. It's just like all these irrational thoughts just poured into my brain. So... But because I was at the back near the lavatory, I actually got to talk to a lot of nice people because I actually made friends with a nice Iranian woman and she was waiting to use the bathroom. There was like a queue. People would queue near my seat and I would just talk to people. So, yay, bathroom beezing. So I had my seatbelt extender in and one.
Bitch, not bathroom beezing. No, ma'am.
I heard that I was waiting nervously looking like, okay, the suspense. Is somebody going to come and sit in my seat? Everyone's moving down the aisles, and sure enough, finally the pilot was like, all passengers on board, and nobody was sitting beside me. So I actually didn't purchase two seats. I never purchased two seats. I'm okay with the seatbelt extender, and I actually had the seat to myself because it wasn't a full plane. So I was actually really lucky. I got to put my leg up and just rest. And one thing being bigger, and especially in the abdomen area, I find is a problem on airplanes for me.
We're using our low BMI voice today. We're going to be talking like this the whole time. The whole time that I am married to Salah, I am going to be using, my low BMI voice. Oh my God. I should have covered my mouth for that. That was unladylike. But this is my low BMI.
Is the table tray. I'm not able to actually fully fold down the tray in front of me. It hits my stomach a little bit. So what I did was I actually just used the tray from the empty chair and just used that as my mealtime tray, which was fine. And the little toiletries kit they give you on the plane, I remember in my first vlog there was a little pouch with a whole bunch of things in it, and I didn't really know at the time what it was. So they give you like a toothbrush, toothpaste, they give you a pair of socks, they give you a blanket, which is in like a plastic wrapping, so a brand new blanket. I actually kept it as a souvenir. Why not? And I kept the socks. They give you some headphones, they give you a mask and some earplugs. So because there was a screaming child on board the whole time. So I actually, the earplugs, once I put the mask on, I just like I showed you in my video, I actually did doze off even without my CPAP. That's a problem because I do use a CPAP machine that I couldn't plug that in. But I didn't really need it. I was able to just doze in and off, and I knew that once I got to my destination, I would be able to sleep. I was tired, though, arriving at the Hamad International Airport. You have to look this airport up if you don't believe me. So I walked around the airport for a long time until I finally found somebody, like it was a connecting flight, until I finally found somebody who scanned my ticket and looked up which gate I needed to go to. And they were like, you need to go to gate I think C39 or something like that. Anyway, so then I was like, where is that? Is it far? And she's like, oh yes, miss, it's too far. You're going to need a train. So you need to go stand. There's a little location where you stand. If your gate is really far off, you need to take this train. So, or this little cart. So this guy picked us all up and was bringing us to the gate. And the whole way he was like, excuse me. That's why I kept putting it in my video, because the whole way, excuse me, almost running people over and just speeding across the airport. Hugest airport I've ever seen in my life. It's huge. I think it was rated the number.
How many airports has she seen in her life? As just a question. I live in Atlanta. We have the world's busiest airport. I don't know if it's the biggest. It is pretty big. There's a train that runs through it. The People Mover. I love People Movers, by the way. Random fact. I live for People Movers. But anyway.
One airport in the world right now. But it is... I underestimated how large it is. It's bad. So I was actually very thankful for that, because I was actually really tired and it would have been a heck of a hike with my luggage. So I just, they dropped me off at my gate, and then I had to wait for a bit and took the connecting flight into Kuwait. So when I got off the plane in Kuwait, I had to, it was so hot. It was so hot. Even just being in the air-conditioned airport, I could feel like myself starting to sweat a bit. And then I had to walk around. I was really tired. I was getting really tired at this point, and I was kind of crabby and not hungry, because we were well fed on the planes.
This is not the most entertaining vlog. I'm going to tell you that. It's interesting to hear, but it's not keeping my attention.
With snacks, even on the connecting flight, even just an hour, they gave us a snack and some juice, so I was okay there. But oh my gosh, when I got to Kuwait, I just wanted to get in the car, air conditioning, and get to my destination. And it was so hot. Like just the few seconds I was outside, it was so hot. It hasn't been super hot since then. It's been in the 20s, so it's not too bad. But that one day I arrived, it was really hot. I was sweating buckets of sweat. I was sweating a lot.
Could you imagine? And then she don't be washing like that. Like her hygiene is off. That is so gross. By the way, you all, I'm sorry for my fighter tick to just start going off. I'm going to cut it off, but I just want to say that is gross. I mean, I could understand why she's sweating because she's in the desert, but, with her, her hygiene ain't right.
It's a complete new environment for me and everything like that. So I just wanted to share a little bit with you about my experience traveling here. I know a lot of you have questions, and I hope I answered some of them for you. So in closing,
What's she looking at me for? Why is she looking at me?
I was sweating.
Look at
buckets of sweat. I was sweating a lot.
It's a
complete new environment for me and everything like that. So I just wanted to share a little bit with you about my experience traveling here. I know a lot of you have questions, and I hope I answered some of them for you. So in closing, I guess I can say, it was hot and hard to do. It was hard to do, to travel being so overweight, but it was worth it, and I challenged myself to do it, and I feel better having come out the other side.
Good girl.
And furthermore, I really, really appreciate you guys coming along on this journey with me. So I thank you for...
But she has not cut her comments back on yet. Her hand must have gotten tired. I haven't seen it in a minute.
For watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Okay. All right, Miss Foodie. Okay, so let's do our ring count here. Let me see. 2, 3, 4... 61 times. That's 61 times, I say 61 times. So that's basically it. Guys, I don't have much to say about this vlog. It was kind of dry. I think that she's still acting as a character. She's still she's still using her low BMI voice, and I really don't have too much more to say about it. I'm going to go reset my fire detector. I need to reset it because I recently changed the battery, and I'm using my low BMI voice. And my hand got tired, so I'm not putting my ring up either. By the way, mine is a snake. It's a cobra. Watch out for snakes because they'll bite you, possibly. And that's all I have to say to that. Guys, put your comments down below. What do you think, though, really? I think that she's playing a role still, and I wonder how long she's going to keep it up with Salah. Like, she's talking in this voice. It's like she's become a new character. She's speaking as if she's not herself. Like, she loves adventure and adrenaline. I'm like, since when, ma'am? The adrenaline from what? Ordering food from Uber Eats and sitting in your room? I mean, really, like, don't get me wrong. I think it's okay to make changes in your life if they're positive and not for somebody else. But I said what I have to say. Guys, leave your comments below. Thank you for watching as always. Bye-bye.